Alright, the Mercury just maxed out their talents in the end because their go-to action for Thomas wasn't working, and even worse, they were without their other bully in Satu, so they really couldn't exploit their size advantage. But at least they were still able to have an inside presence from Copper, because she was aggressive to get downhill out the gates, and I assume Satu being out was probably one of the reasons for that shift in mentality, so instead of continuing to kill the aces with trays, she just killed them with lays. If anything, I think she should have attacked Asia way more than she did throughout the finals, because whenever she got that matchup, she was beating Asia off the dribble damn near every time, but it was really no different no matter who was in front of her, so whether she got a switch or not, she was still getting to the rim, and when she wasn't just getting by her defender with her first step, she was getting open lanes going right off some pin downs. Some of those were even coming in transition, and those quick buckets were really the Mercury's best looks on offense, because they weren't really generating quality shots in the half court, so they needed to find runouts, players with deep positioning early, cross matches, or just use that pace to flow right into a quick action. They were able to catch the Aces defense out of position a good amount, but I also just don't think the Aces were as good as they've been with their coverages, because they were having Asia show sometimes instead of just having all of them outright switch, so that mix was probably causing confusion, and that was leading to some of the unnecessary breakdowns. The only player I can understand not switching is Nalissa, because they probably don't want her on the perimeter, and she's been their best low man, so they want her strictly as help. But other than some of those messed up switches, they were able to force a lot of turnovers from the Mercury, especially Thomas, because she was very loose with her passes the entire night, and she kept forcing them inside with small windows. For what it's worth, she was only one off from a quadruple-double if she wants to consider that a consolation prize for getting swept, and a couple of those turnovers were even on Copper, because the Aces managed to draw charges on her, so fortunately for them, at least they found one way of stopping her. But unfortunately for the Mercury, all those turnovers were just leading to extra possessions for the Aces, and that made it even harder for them to win, because it's already hard enough when they don't have the talent to match, so losing the possession game just made it damn near impossible. I don't even think the Aces half-court offense was that good, because they were either relying on Young or Gray to create something on the rock, or finding Asia in her spots to attack her matchup, and a lot of the times, it just led to stagnation, so they were having to take tough shots. But their shot making is what separates them from other teams, because when they weren't able to manipulate their screening actions, burn the Mercury for cheating off, or burn them for a late switch, they were able to rely on one of their stars hitting a bailout, and more importantly, at least they were able to combat the half-court by pushing a rock in transition. That's really how Asia was scoring throughout the night, because the Mercury were quick to send help when their defense was set, and some of those were even leading to her getting to the line, so the free throws were another way for her to get easy points. The whistle was basically the same as Game 3, because the refs were quick to blow it on any bumps or holds, so they got to live at the line whenever the Mercury tried to be physical with them, especially in the third, and those were allowing them to maintain their control from the first half. They damn near shot as many free throws in that quarter than the entire Mercury did on the night, so I can understand the Mercury's frustration the entire second half, but they still needed to adjust to the whistle, not the other way around, and even then, it wasn't the refs' fault they couldn't secure a board in the last 4 minutes of the game, because all those stops they were finally getting amounted to nothing without the rock. Those just allowed the Aces to milk the clock until the end, and when a chip's on the line, it doesn't matter if the win's pretty or not, because all that's going to be remembered is the Aces sweeping their way to their third in 4 years. Just watch the tape.
That's three of a kind for the Las Vegas Aces!